Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. If you like the video today, please come and share it. We'll surely appreciate it here on 100 Yards of Football. I'd like to give special thanks to my social media guy and my producer today, Logan Landers, for making it happen for me. I'd like to say blessings to you, Mr. Landers. And I'm your host, Vincent Turner. Today's video is our NFL draft prospect of the past and his moment. A gentleman that should be in the Hall of Fame, Mr. Jessie Tuggle, linebacker of the Atlanta Falcons. I've been in this great city since 1996. I live in Douglasville, Georgia, which is about 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. And I think about following the Falcons ever since I've been here. And I've been here since when Michael Vick first came to this city in 2001. And then I came in 1996, as I just mentioned. The one thing that stuck out to me about the Atlanta Falcons organization is that there's been one consistent football player who's played at a high level, regardless if they're winning games, regardless if they're not. And this young man is Jessie Tuggle. Undrafted in 1987. Can you believe that? Some linebackers that went in that draft before him who went in the first round, Cornelius Bennett, who came out of the University of Alabama, Mike Junkin, who came out of Duke, and Shane Conlon that came out of Penn State. And I can clearly say that Jessie Tuggle's had a better career than all of them. And one other thing I brought up just a few seconds ago, the Hall of Fame. I don't know who does the voting, but to me, that y'all need to be drug tested or y'all need to go see somebody, maybe you're drinking too much. For this young man to not be in the Hall of Fame is unbelievable to me. Coming from Griffin, Georgia, is something down there in the water in Griffin, Georgia. And all the great athletes from Willie Gault to Chris Clemens to Charlie Clemens to Sharon Martin to Jonathan Sullivan to Randy Baldwin to Alton Montgomery to Corey Moore to Nick Clemens to Omar Ellison to Tim Beckton to Darren Hancock to Rayfield Wright to Ben Talley, to Josh Pace, and Freddie Gilbert. You know what? Jessie Tuggle, in my opinion, in my vote, is the best athlete that's ever came out of Griffin. And think about him when he played with the Atlanta Falcons. His skill set was by none, consistent at a high level, A+, valuable asset to the organization, A+, the work ethic, A+, coming in as an undrafted free agent. The toughness, A+. Tackling, one of the hardest hitters at the middle linebacker position that ever played in the National Football League, A+. Determined as a linebacker to be the best, A+. Instincts at another level, A+. Read and react as a linebacker, A+. Running through the ball carrier, A+. The explosion as a middle linebacker, A+. The strength, A+. I heard the gentleman is a 550 guy on the bench press in his day. And he was an undrafted free agent. See, it's something about God's people. John chapter 13, verse 7. But this is what I'm saying about when we vote players in the Pro Bowl and when we vote players in the Hall of Fame. When we vote players at the highest level, I don't get it with the National Football League. The gentleman was a Pro Bowler 5 times, All-Pro 3 times. Think about that. His career, over 1,804 tackles, 6 defensive touchdowns, 21 sacks, started 189 games, played in 209 games, had 207 tackles in 1991. That ranked second all time in the history for one season in the National Football League. His greatest moment, 1999, playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings and his ability to get to the Super Bowl. 12 consecutive 100 tackle seasons. 20 tackles in a game on 4 different occasions in the National Football League. I'm telling you right now, this gentleman right here, John 13, verse 7, is one of the greatest football players that ever played at a high level at the middle linebacker position in the National Football League. And I had an honor and a pleasure to be in his presence, not once, not twice. And I'm telling you, he's a better human being than he was on the field. Very humble guy out of Griffin, Georgia. And it's an honor and a pleasure to do his video today here on 100 Yards of Football. The Atlanta Falcons' greatest linebacker ever. And the gentleman that's part of 100 Yards Football, Mr. Bobby Butler, first-round draft pick in the 1981 draft to Florida State University, told me that pound for pound, this gentleman right here might have been the best football player that's ever came through the Atlanta Falcons football history. I know why they don't have him in the Hall of Fame, because he played with the Falcons and they didn't have a lot of winning seasons. But make no bone, make no honor, God doesn't make mistakes. One day this gentleman is going to be in the Hall of Fame. And hopefully I get a chance to see him go up there and give his Hall of Fame speech, because he's one of the greatest football players that's ever played this game. Mr. Jessie Tuggle. And that's why his son Grady Jarrett right now is the best defensive player on the Atlanta Falcons. It don't fall from an apple tree. The blood of the water don't fall far either. Griffin, Georgia in the house. Mr. Jessie Tuggle. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'd like to give special thanks to the gentleman who made it happen for me today. The very talented. We know him as Logan Babyface Nelson Landers. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm Vincent Turner here on 100 Yards of Football.